What's up, YouTube? I hope you're having a great day. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the PlayStation no disc, no buy hashtag that's going on Twitter, on X.com, regarding PlayStation switching over or ending physical media, physical games starting January of 2028, which is about, a year and a half from now. It's July right now. So a year and a half from now, after January 2028, new games will only be digital only moving forward. So there's been a petition online on change.org. It's called Save Physical Games. Save physical games. Don't kill the disc. Tell Sony to keep physical PlayStation games. And I've been following it since it had like 50,000 signatures. So that's like a few weeks ago. Right now it's up to a little bit over 300,000 signatures. So it has moved a little bit, but it is slowing down. It's definitely lost momentum, and you can see it. You could just watch that. Just look at PlayStation. They released Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 on the PlayStation Store last week, and it became the two most best-selling games, and they're all digital only. So think about it. All these people that were saying no PlayStation, no disc, no buy, guess what? A lot of them went and bought Black Ops and Black Ops 2 digital only. And not only that, most of these people already bought or planning on buying Grand Theft Auto 6, which has sold, I forgot, more than 39 million copies already, or pre-orders, more than 39 million pre-orders, equivalent to more than $3 billion. So Sony and Rockstar have seen more than $3 billion of GTA 6 being pre-ordered. You know what that's significant? Because GTA 6 is only digital only. Yes, there's going to be a release. There's going to be a box with a digital code out there. That's what they're calling the physical box. But you're going to be able to go to the store and buy the box, and it's going to have a code in there that you can put in the PlayStation Store and download GTA 6. But it's still going to be digital, okay? There is no way at this point, from everything we've seen, and anything is possible, obviously, but when you look at what Sony's looking at, what PlayStation's looking at, which is they're gonna even if they lose a bunch of gamers, because a lot of the physical buyers, let's say they lose 15-20% of their gamers, they're gonna gain so much more because they're cutting out the middleman by going digital only. They're practically killing off secondhand. There's not gonna be any more secondhand used games. They're going to kill that market. There's not going to be no more GameStop. Probably, Sony did say that some retailers are going to be selling the digital code, but guess what? Instead of giving the retailer 30%, they're probably going to get like $5 to sell a digital code or something like that. I'm sure that their cut is not going to be the same as it is now with physical games. And we shall see what's going to happen there, but it is interesting times that we're going into. So was this change.org petition? It's really easy to fake too, because and I'm not saying people are doing that, but all it needs is just ask for a name, a last name, ask for your email, and then ask for your location, which in my case, my location is there automatically. So I guess it picks up my location from maybe my IP address. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, the change.org petition, what I'm trying to say is somebody wanted to game this petition, they can. And that's why I don't think PlayStation is going to take this petition very seriously. Even if it got to 1 million, signatures, which I doubt, if it's ever going to get to 1 million signatures, probably not. What it is that social media amplifies people's voices. So you go on you go on X, Twitter, and at the beginning, when this was announced, was July 1st, I think, when they made this announcement, people were all over the place. No disc, no buy, no disc, no buy. And the hashtag became a thing. And there was all these bigger YouTubers on there, MBG, for example, little Sony Pony, all crying, no disc, no buy. He says he's not getting the PS6. I'm like, well, sorry. But he's full of shit, because he is going to get the PS6 as soon as it comes out, no matter if it's digital only. They're going to accept. Sony knows that most of these gamers are going to accept the digital future. You know why? Because they're not going to have a choice. So here's the number one thing: PlayStation is number one gaming platform out there. Okay, PlayStation is number one. Okay, of consoles, for example, right? I'm not talking about PC. PC is a whole different platform, but when it comes to consoles, PlayStation is number one. They have the most units out there. They sold the most. They sell the most games. And PlayStation is on top. They're doing better than they ever have. So they know that they're number one, and they are working to protect their investment, being that these consoles, the new generation consoles, are going to be super expensive. Actually, look at the PlayStation Pro right now. How much is what, $900 for a PlayStation 5 Pro? That's pretty expensive, right? So what's happening is game consoles are going to get more expensive. There's going to be a part where, like, if these consoles are going to be like $1,500, PlayStation might only be able to sell it like at $1,000, right? So they might have to subsidize $500 for PlayStation 6, and I'm not saying they are. They already said that they were not gonna, as principle, they were not going to significantly subsidize the console, but they will subsidize some of it for sure. We don't know how much that's going to be. It's going to be $500. That's a lot. I heard that Xbox right now loses about $200 for each Xbox sold right now. Each Xbox Series X, I think they lose $200 today, which is crazy, being that these game systems, this current gen, they're coming up to the 6th year. This November is going to be the 6th anniversary of the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles. That is crazy, yeah. But yeah, going back to these signatures. So even if they can get this petition to 1 million signatures, that's still less. That's still, I believe, by then there's going to be, by the time this change.org petition goes to 100 to 1 million signatures, if it ever makes it that far, by the time it makes it to that, there's going to be so many more PlayStations out there, because people are going to buy PlayStations just to play GTA 6 coming in November. A lot of gamers that haven't upgraded, a lot of gamers are still gaming on PS4, Xbox One. They're going to upgrade to play GTA 6, and they're going to upgrade most likely to a PlayStation console, whether it's PS5 or PS5 Pro, and that's going to increase the number of PS5s out there. So I'm quoting 95 million PlayStation consoles. That's the number that was out there like last spring. So by now, there's definitely over 100 million PlayStation 5s out there, if not even more, maybe 105 possibly. But by the time GTA 6 comes out, it's going to be probably in the 120 million consoles out there. And this petition is only going to have, 1 million signature. If that, I doubt it. It has died down. The numbers are not growing as fast anymore. It just, I think it's a losing battle. Listen, I know for me it's a little bit different, because I've been digital. I've been 100% digital, about 100% digital since the release of the Xbox One. I remember I think I bought one game on disc, maybe two games on disc, Forza Motorsport 5. Actually, not even. I didn't buy any disc. I bought all my games. The only game I bought on disc for Xbox One was Call of Duty Ghost when they came out that year. But when I first got my Xbox One in 2013, I got Forza Motorsport 5 and Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I got them both digital. Oh, and Battlefield 4. So those were the first three games that I bought right around the launch. I think I got Forza Motorsport at launch, and then I got Battlefield 4, and then I got Assassin's Creed 4 as well, Black Flag. And those were digital. And ever since, most of my games have been digital. I might have like 4 or 5 Xbox One games on disc, but I have hundreds. I got several hundreds Xbox One games on digital, on my digital collection. If you're interested to see some of them, I have a video here on the channel called, I think, my digital Xbox collection. And on that video, I show you my collection of Xbox One game, which including Xbox Game Pass game, not Game Pass games, but the games that we got for free through Xbox Live Gold when that used to be around. I have, and combined with my Xbox 360 games, I have a combined like 1,100 games. Like my library's crazy. My Xbox collection is like 1,100 games. 1,128 games, I think, is what my collection is currently at for Xbox. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, you know, it just been very convenient. It's very convenient because you don't have to go and switch the disc. You don't have to get up and switch to this. You just press a button, you can jump to the next game. And then with the Xbox Series X, that with quick resume, that just made it a lot easier to just hop between games. Because you don't even, at that point, you don't even have to save the game. You don't even have to close the game. You can just jump to another game and go back and forth between several games as much as you like. And, you know, that feature works pretty well, better than I expected. I know that with some titles, like if you're playing Call of Duty, of course, online, it's going to drop you from the server once it goes into, once that game goes into hibernation. I think that's what it does. It's a virtual machine. So Xbox runs each game like a virtual, like an independent virtual machine. And when you do quick resume, I think they go into like a hibernation mode is what they go into, where it's frozen in memory. So then you can just jump right back. And frozen in memory, I think they're using a part of the SSD to do that, like a page file, like RAM, part page file, I think. But yeah, going back to Sony and the ponies, and I'm a pony too. I've been playing more PlayStation than Xbox lately, and for the last few years, and I feel like I've been converting. And for some reason, like I was just about to tell you that just because I've been digital for a long time, I feel slightly different about this. But I understand why physical is wanted, and because I see you can go buy a physical game pre-owned from like GameStop for like, you know, $20, whatever, you know, and build your collection that way. But you have to look at PlayStation's their side too. They're about making money. Okay, don't get it twisted. This is not a charity. PlayStation is not here to be a charity. Okay, they don't. At the end of the day, you're just a consumer that buys products from them. They're not looking at you as you're a gamer and they love your gaming, and they don't look at you. You're not a gamer to them. You're a consumer, and a consumer that puts cash in their pocket and they give you a product. And now they're saying, you know what, we're not going to give you the physical disc anymore. We're going to be all digital, and that's the way it's going to be moving forward. And yeah. I know it's unfortunate for a lot of people that build collections, that collect games, but the writing's been on the wall for a while. This was coming. I mean, we've been mostly digital since Xbox One, PS4 era. That's when it really kicked off. There were some digital games on the PlayStation 3 and on the Xbox 360 towards the end of that generation. But when the PS4 and Xbox One generation started, that's when the whole digital library thing became a thing, where everybody started building their own digital library. And now I do care. I do care about PlayStation having better, giving consumer more rights over their digital collection. I think that. People shouldn't lose their digital collection easily. You know, like they shouldn't, like once you pay for a game, that game should not be removed from the download. Similar to how they did to PT, the Kojima demo that was out there on the PlayStation 4 store. I think they had that demo. And I downloaded it once, and then I was never ever able to download it again. And that shouldn't be the case. But now in that case, that was Konami, the publisher, that removed the game. It wasn't PlayStation that removed the game from the store. But what I believe is, like, once you buy a game, that license needs to be there perpetually. I'm hopefully saying that correctly. In perpetuity, you know what I'm saying, right? That license needs to stay there for a long time, forever, for as long as you own your digital collection. And hopefully this also brings, and so far we've been lucky that after we went to the PS4, the PS5 was very similar architecture, so they were able to carry all the PS4 games forward to the PS5 with backwards compatibility, and hopefully it's going to be the same with the PS6. I believe so. And there's no data or anything out there indicating otherwise. So backwards compatibility is going to be a big thing, and this is part of why they're preaching a whole digital. Let's go digital because we're going to carry your library over, and we're going to be able to play all this stuff on your newer console. So, yeah. So that's where we at with PlayStation. No buy, no disc. It has died down. I've been on Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time. I'm on there. I like reading a lot, so I usually go there a lot to read what's the latest news, what's the latest rumors in video game. And I don't see as much anymore. Like especially once PlayStation, they put a blog post posting that Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were available on the PlayStation Store, digital only, and thousands of people click like or hearted the post. Obviously there's going to be some people in the chat saying, "Oh yeah, no this, no buy," but it became the number one selling game. It's the number one selling game this month right now. It's beating GTA 6. So it's beating GTA 6 right now in sales in the PlayStation Store. So that is crazy that 15, let me see, Black Ops 1 came out in 2010 or 2011, and Black Ops 2 came out in 2012. So 2010, Black Ops 2 came out in 2012, and those games are number one seller, and they're digital only. So Sony's not scared. PlayStation's not scared that you're not gonna buy the PlayStation 6 because it's gonna be all digital. No, they don't care about that crowd anymore. I mean, and most of that crowd gets their game secondhand, used market. And you gotta remember, Sony doesn't make any money out of that. I mean, in some cases they kind of do because you resell the game and you might buy a new game. But if you're always trading in used games and buying more used games, PlayStation doesn't see a single dime of that money at all. So I can understand why they're trying to cut the middleman out. And also, it is unfortunate that lending games is probably going to go away, mostly because, it's going to be all digital, and I don't think PlayStation is going to have a mechanism in place to allow you to lend games to other PlayStation gamers, because that can become a thing. Now, Nintendo has been pretty good at doing that with the Nintendo Switch 2 and in the Switch 1 now. They introduced those virtual cartridges last year. Right before the Switch 2 came out, they introduced those virtual cartridges. But that's only between switches. Is it between gamers? Can you lend the game? That's a good question. I can do in between. I have a Switch 1 and a Switch 2. And if I play a game on my Switch 1, it gets released from my Switch 2 and it goes into my Switch 1. I cannot play them both at the same time. If I go play on my Switch 1, my Switch 2, the game from the Switch 1 transfer over to the Switch 2. That's pretty neat. I don't know if you can lend games or to people outside your household, outside your family. That's a good question. But if PlayStation could figure something out like that, that would be great. But they're probably not. It's probably too much trouble for them right now to consider some type of entitlement system that allows you to lend a game to a friend. Because then the issue is, like, when do you get it back? And you got to have a timer on that, maybe a limited timer that might work. Like, you can lend the game to a friend for like 3 days and then it reverts back to you. You cannot play the game while your friend is playing it, something like that. We shall see what's going to happen. But yeah, I think PlayStation, they need to be held accountable there. Like, if they're going to go all digital, we need more rights as a digital consumer, as a digital collection owner. You need to make sure that your collection is going to be protected. First is the whole issue with hacking and social engineering that's been happening on PlayStation over the last year, where people are going and doing social engineering and pretending to be other people and getting the accounts moved over to them, to their email address, changing their email address, and people are losing their PlayStation account because of that. So they got to fix that system. Then they have to fix, they got to make sure that, once a license is assigned to it, once you own a license, once you buy that license, that title remains downloadable forever. So that's one of the things that we didn't like about the announcement, is that on that blog post, on that Twitter post that PlayStation was announcing that they were going all digital, they also had another announcement that was they were closing the PlayStation 3 store. And the concern is, well, if they close the store, that means you lose the ability to buy digital games on there. And that's fine after like 20 years, whatever. I think that's perfectly fine. But I think the problem that I saw in there, and that there's in their statement, said you won't be able to buy games anymore on the PS3 store, but you're going to be able to download them for the foreseeable future. And I didn't like that wording, foreseeable future. Like, no, I should be able to download these games for as long as I'm alive. So I think that a lot of the gamers that don't care that much about the digital stuff, we should be demanding PlayStation for better rights for digital collection owners, digital game owners. Like, we need to be protected. Like, we don't want a license to be revoked for no reason. Also, I know that people get suspended all the time on PlayStation, for doing nasty stuff on multiplayer games. And I agree with suspending people and punishing people when they deserve it. But I am against them losing access to their library, to their game library, because they got punished on let's say they were on Call of Duty and they were cussing somebody out or saying racist stuff to somebody. Yeah, they should be punished and blocked from getting on the game for a while, suspended. But they shouldn't lose access to their digital games. And I think that if somebody and I don't know for sure because I've never been suspended. I think that if I did, I don't know what would happen, but if you get suspended for some stupid reason or a valid reason, you shouldn't lose access to your digital games at all. You should still be able to connect to the PlayStation Network, play your games, and just be blocked from doing multiplayer games. So we need better language around that. Sony needs to do better with that. I think that that's one of the things that we should be putting our energy on, is getting Sony to give us better rights to protect our digital collections, being that that's going to be the way moving forward. Moving forward, that's going to be the way of gaming ownership is going to be all digital. So, yeah. Wow. I mean, there's so much around this topic that we can go on for a while. I can go on for another 10 minutes. So I addressed, digital games, license not being suspended, not being revoked when you get suspended for multiplayer. License, the game being downloadable for life once you download that license. Them removing, and this is the part where Xbox is really good. So Xbox have a game, I think it was Forza Horizon 3, for example. I bought that game when it first came out. I think I got the Ultimate Edition with all the car map packs and all the stuff. And that game got delisted from the Xbox store over some licensing, because those games have a lot of music on there, like copyrighted music, and there's licensing agreements. So that game was delisted, so you cannot buy that game anymore on the Xbox store, but you were still able to download it. So in my case, because I was an owner of that game, I can still download it. I didn't lose access to the game, but people lost access to buy it once because the license expired, some of that music, and they just couldn't renew it or whatever. Got complicated, and they just had to delist the game from the game store. So that's fine, delisting the game from the game store, but you should still be able to download the game. And I think that's where the bigger concern is when it comes to PlayStation. Like, we don't want them to be able to just revoke a license and then we lose the ability to download the game, or vice versa. Like, you just buy the license, you never get in trouble, so it should never get revoked or suspended, and then have a game download become unavailable, let's say 10, 15 years from now, because the platform is too old. Like, no, once we go all digital, they need to maintain these downloads for these digital games forever. I think that should be like a law, that once you sell a digital license to a gamer, because it is a digital license or an ownership license, whatever, you buy the license from PlayStation to download the game, that you should retain that for life. I think that's the way it should be. That's why I was concerned with these verbiage around the shutting down of the PlayStation 3 store, where they said downloads are going to be available for the foreseeable future. It should have been forever. for real, because you bought those games with your hard-earned money, and you paying the same price as you would pay for a full retail copy of the game. Like if if Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 comes out, I think in November or October, and when that game comes out, if you buy it at GameStop or a Best Buy, if you buy the disc, it's gonna cost you the same as digital. If you buy digital, it's gonna cost the same as the disc. So when you buy digital, you're gonna spend $70 for that digital download. Guess what? That download should be available for the rest of my life. Okay, and that's what we need to focus on, is making sure that Sony makes our digital collections have to be permanent. Once you buy that license, it is yours forever, and the download should be available forever. Okay, well, with that being said, I appreciate your time today. Please click like and subscribe. Help the channel grow by clicking on subscribe. So thank you so much, and you have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.